Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the final card in this week's tarot story. So we close with the Five of Pentacles. This looks like a hard card, I know. Well, the number 5 is about connecting to challenge or crisis. And Pentacles are about the physical world. So they're about money and physical vitality and wellness and feeling abundant or not feeling abundant. And when you hit the 5 mark in the physical world, you're going to get something that feels like poverty. And that's definitely what's happening here. You've got these two people who do look impoverished. They're trudging through snow. I think they don't even have any shoes on. One's got a broken leg. This is struggle. This is the epitome of struggle. So you've got this image of these people walking through the snow, and you have to ask at this point. This is the challenge point. The challenge point, I think, in a 10-card trajectory, the 5 is like the peak moment where you're climbing up the mountain, and here's the peak, and you have to decide at the peak moment: do you push forward or do you hit the brakes and kind of slide back down the mountain? So at the 5 point, you either gain momentum and you get over the hump, and then you get some momentum going down the other side, or you lose momentum and you slide back down. So hitting the brakes here means that you just keep on trudging forward. These people are looking at their feet. They've identified themselves as impoverished. They're feeling impoverished, and that's their reality, and that's the reality they're focusing on. If they keep their eyes on the ground, which they are right now, then they're going to say, yep, I can only succeed. My only possible path forward is to just focus, work hard, and keep going. That is a very linear version of the physical world, and it's one that we're all familiar with. But if you look in the background, I love this card for this reason. In the background, you've got this stained glass window, and that's where the pentacles are actually in this image. And the stained glass window suggests they are passing by a church. And the church is a place of sanctuary and support. So if they can let go of their linear assumption that this is all on them, they have no point but to keep going forward. If they can look around, they will see there is support available. So meeting the challenge at this point is not digging in and working harder. That's not meeting the challenge. That is actually putting on the brakes. It is stopping, looking up, and seeing how the universe, how other people, where there are resources being offered to you, and being willing to see them and to agree to them. Because the truth is, no spiritual journey is sustainable ultimately if it's all up to me, if it's all up to my own willpower, my own pushing, my own grittiness. That's not a sustainable path. I know in the linear world we say it is. It's not true. Everything requires for us to move forward in a way that is sustainable. We have to be willing to receive. It's not just about giving. It's not just about making a decision and pushing forward. It's about receiving. If you're not willing to receive, you're going to run out of energy. You're going to run out of steam. You're going to come back down the mountain. So when this card shows up, it reminds us we live in a friendly universe that's trying to help us. If we are determined to do it on our own, that's all right. We'll end up getting stuck and slide back down. It's when we learn the lesson that we are loved and we are supported and we're willing to let that happen, that we are able to cross over the top of that mountain. Yesterday's card was the 3 of Cups reversed, and it talked about how that's about loving yourself. This is really, it's a Pentacles card, but it is about, do you believe you are lovable? If you do not believe you are lovable, if you do not believe you are loved, if you have a doubt of how loved you are, then you're not going to look for this church. You're not going to believe it's there because you have already decided there's a limited amount of grace for you and you have used it up. Or maybe you get no grace at all. It's when you start challenging the idea of how lovable you are. And you start by loving yourself, right? That's 3 of Cups reversed from yesterday. You start by pushing against the parts of you that are not expansive around your loving yourself. Even though it's uncomfortable, you understand that when you try something new, it's going to be uncomfortable. So you're not messing up if it's uncomfortable. You push on it. That's the challenge point. When you get better at acknowledging your love of yourself, there are things about you that are lovable. They deserve celebrating. They deserve honoring. Then you begin to say, well, if I'm lovable, maybe the universe does want to support me. Maybe I'm willing to be loved by the universe as well. So that's why this is an important challenge point, not just because it's about having enough money or enough energy. It's about understanding the nature of our path on this earth. And it is not to make things happen, actually. The nature of our path on this earth is to become more and more willing to be loved and therefore more willing to love. That's the point. See you next time for our next tarot story. Bye.